What is going on, guys? HappiDaze here, and in today's video we're going and taking on the TM Zoro fight just to show you what it looks like based on the teams that I had mentioned in the My Teams video yesterday. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We are going to try to fight the Robin and Jinbei in the map if we see them, just because they are probably the toughest out of all the different mini-bosses that are there. So we're just going to go ahead and quickly kind of get through here. We'll get the Intrusion fight coming up. And the important units for the Intrusion fight are obviously the Zoro Sanji unit, just because they can help remove that increased defense and damage threshold that's there. So it makes it a lot easier to go ahead and end up beating the boss there on the stage 2, and then it's really just the Luffy special on the stage 3. If you have double Luffy, this is going to be a cake breeze, this TM. But even if you don't, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think if you're able to use the super type and a combination of the special of Luffy, and you get to use it twice because you get the HP cut from the Zoro fight there, it'll just become really easy to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and open up this fight. Now we are going to have to switch, just make sure our super switch is ready. So we'll just do a little bit of stalling here. So we'll just swap one turn here just to make sure that it is ready, which it is, which is great, which means that we're actually ready to go into the final stage. I could stall for the Yamato special, but I really don't have to, so I'm not going to really worry about that at all. So go ahead and kill the turtles. Now on stage 2, I am using one of the Luffy specials. That way I do get Hiyori to get a rainbow orb. That way she can take care of the bad healing debuffs there. If you don't have Hiyori, you should be able to hopefully just get around those healing debuffs themselves. Just keep in mind that you do take a 10k hit, depending what actions you do. As you can see here, I have like 217k HP, right? So a couple actions aren't going to do much. So I'm going to go ahead and swap the super swap there. And I'm going to actually use their super type as well here, just because I can. We'll use that to remove all the defense and threshold. We'll use a Luffy to go ahead and change the orbs there. And we'll also use a super type. Super overkill. Probably don't even have to worry about all this. But like I said, we have the HP, so why not? And the hail from Hiyori, just make sure that will be good there. And now we can just go ahead and attack. So you can see we removed pretty much all their buffs that they had. And there's no chance that they even stand a chance against us, so it's a nice and easy match that's there. And then against Sanji himself, he's really meant to have the Luffy used here. The Luffy will take care of the special bind and the paralysis. We have Nami to help take care of the special reverse. And he does have a rainbow orb shield, which our Luffy will take care of. So it just makes it really easy to go ahead and beat this guy if you have him. We're going to use the Luffy super type here. And you can see that go ahead and removes all those special binds, which is awesome. And then we'll just go ahead and use the specials. We'll just use all the remaining specials just because we can. And it'll be just a nice, easy death hit there. As I said, if you have both Luffy's, and especially Hiyori, this match is just absolutely easy to just whiz through. I should have attacked with the Rainbow Orb there first, like I just did there, so just make sure that you attack with the Rainbow Orb first, just to go ahead and break that barrier. And you'll go ahead and easily defeat Sanji there. Now, I could swap out on that team. Obviously, I didn't need the Yamato unit, but she was a high booster. So, like I said, you have a lot of flexibility in here, if you have the Luffy, in terms of who you want to switch around there. So, just kind of get your highest booster team. That's really the name of the game there. And you can see just from that one fight, I got about 391k points, which is absolutely fantastic. I do keep landing on these reduction slots, which is kind of okay. But I do want to try out getting these new growth spots. So you can see one of the growth spots up here. So let's go ahead and see if we can just go ahead and grab that growth spot. Just because I'm curious how that new mechanic works. You know, you get more points as you land on them more. Perfect. So we got 6,000 points, and it went up to level 4. So, that's pretty cool, I guess. I'll be curious to see what that multiplier growth rate is as you get higher. I'm sure it will just increase as you kind of go through. But, you know, if you can get an extra 40, 50k by the end of the TM, then it's almost like you're facing another couple mini bosses, right? So Can't complain about free points, so we'll go ahead and keep trucking along. This is the painful part of TM, is that with all these slot downs, sometimes it takes a while to kind of get through these runs, but it is what it is. That's just kind of the nature of TM. So you can see here, we can hop over to this path, and that's just so I can go ahead and take on Robin and Jinbei. Now, because I'm using the Zoro and Sanji friend captain, it's not a huge deal. If you don't have them, you'd obviously have to get some units that can take care of the defense and the damage reduction threshold that's there. Not impossible to get over, so maybe as it gets to the later stages, I'll go ahead and replace the Sanji here with maybe some other characters. That way I can just put them more on my final team, just get a little additional boost there. So let's go ahead and attack here. Should be straightforward and nice and easy to get through. And the key here, again, is making sure that your super swap is ready. That way they go into their final form and they can take care of all those items there. I'm just going to do one attack here. And then I'm just going to swap one more time so that their super swap is ready. And then I'll go ahead and kill both units there. Now they do end up producing their own special if you have Tandem, Wano, or Recovery Orb. So I could have probably sped through there a little bit quicker. But, you know, that's okay. I'm not really in a rush. Like I said, the key units here are really going to be the Zoro Sanji, the Toki that's there, and everything else is just kind of point boosters. So, really easy team. Like I said, if you have Zoro Sanji, this will be a piece of cake. If you don't, there's a bunch of characters that you can use to replace to take care of those buffs. And if you make these as the character that you go after, it will just make it a lot easier for you on your TM runs. Go ahead and use the Hiyori special there. Use the Kinemon special to help do the rewind. And then we'll go ahead and do the super swap. And use one of the specials. And even as of now, it's super overkill with what we have. We don't even have to use the bottom two specials, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill them like that, just so we can kind of speed through the run even quicker. So yeah, so far, no problems at all. We're just kind of breezing through the content that's there. And it just makes it super easy. So, like I said, I don't think this TM is one of the harder ones, which is good. It's always good when they're more accessible for the end users. So, yeah, good job by Bandai for making a TM that's not absolutely miserable to run if you didn't put all the latest units. And I do have a video out there of some teams that are accessible if you didn't pull the new units, so just make sure to check that out if you haven't yet. And let's go ahead and take on the last couple bosses. That way we can go ahead and defeat Zoro that's there. So, for all these other bosses, it's going to go super quick. Like I said, we have kind of all the ideal teams. I'm just going to go ahead and use Whitebeard on this team. He takes care of all the debuffs that are there, so it just makes it nice and quick to just go through and get through pretty easily. Now, I am going roughly for probably somewhere in the 40 to 60 run range. I do not really care about getting top 500 this TM like I did last one, just because for me the benefits and grinding that takes to get into that top 500, the rewards just aren't worth it, right? For maybe 20 gems or maybe 1 or 2 additional legend tickets. I have so many dupes at this point that most of the time, I would say probably 70% of the time, maybe more, that the units that I end up getting are all dupes and useless. So I spend all that time for nothing. So yeah, I'm probably just going to go ahead and end up, trying to get top 1,000, obviously, but I probably won't go as hard at trying to get top 500. Now, I will be doing some live streaming a little bit later on tonight, so definitely check that out. Keep me entertained or not bored while I kind of grind through this. And yeah, we can have a Q&A session or anything like that. It probably won't be till around 10 p.m. EST tonight, just because, gotta get the kids to bed and all that stuff. So it is what it is, but yeah, we'd love if you guys could join me for a live stream tonight on Twitch. I will go ahead and put a link in the description just so you guys can go ahead and hop on if you have the time. And we'll just grind some TM. Like I said, what I typically try to do is I try to do roughly 15 runs a day. That way I can kind of get to that 60 by the end, and then usually by that point I have more than enough to get all the rewards and easily stay in the top 1,000. So this stage is going to go pretty quick as well. We'll just kind of go through here real quick. I do have the Nami Karina just because I just want to throw them on this team just so we'd have them. And yeah. The guy in the lower right-hand corner there, the quick guy, the slasher, you actually don't need him for anything, which is good. So that's the good news of this team. All right, so I may have to redo this team. Apparently, I forgot, something that would help me get through here. But that's fine. Like I said, these mini bosses aren't tough, and I have more than enough HP. So yeah, I'm gonna have to revisit what I did here. I thought I was able to cover all the buffs that might happen, but apparently I didn't. So I'll have to stall out this despair and this paralysis, which is kind of a pain. But it kind of is what it is. So we'll just kind of stall it out real quick. Carrot's not a bad boss anyway. She doesn't really do any huge gimmicks, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal for us to go ahead and just wait it out. All right, our despair and paralysis should be gone here, which is awesome. Go ahead and use the O-Robbie special to clear everything, and then we can just go ahead and use everyone else's special just to make everything nice and simple. I do have 4 quick units on the team, so that Shanks will give that extra bonus there, which is good. At this point, I'm just going through and just getting enough damage to kill. Like I said, I should have, even though I have complete block orbs and everything like that, Carrot's not a big deal. So apologies about that. You had to sit around and watch that a little bit, which I'm sure wasn't fun. But yeah, we got through Carrot, and when we do our next runs, we'll just modify that team just to take care of the despair and the paralysis that is there. So now we have Neko, so this should be the pretty simple team. Corazon and Kid really do the heavy lifting here. So it should be pretty easy, pretty straightforward to just go ahead and clear this. And the boss will end up giving us some paralysis, some attack down, some despair. He'll make orbs bad, so like I said, with the combination of Corazon, Kid, and the Law there, we're able to take care of just about every buff. And we have the Vivi unit at the bottom there, Rebecca unit at the bottom there, and Carrot just as damage boosters. Completely not required, you can switch them out for whatever you need, but we just have them anyway. Kid will take care of the despair as well. And now we'll have more than enough attack just to go ahead and kill them. We don't have to worry about any of the other specials that are there. And Kid also helps avoid that death hit as well. Only makes you take the 5,000 damage instead of the 100,000, which is why he's so critical to this team. So you just want to make sure that you have Kid in that team to just help, or have someone else who can cut damage by 80+%. All right, now on to the final match of the run. So thank you for being with us, guys. We're almost there. And then we'll complete our TM run so you guys can see how we kind of did these teams. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a friend, Captain Luffy, again. Now we don't have to stall, which is awesome. I am just going to charge Yamato Super Type just because I can. Definitely not needed, though. So on stage 2, I'm going to go ahead and use a Luffy special so I can get just everyone to get rainbow orbs there, just to make it a little bit easier. Now when I use the Hiyori unit, she will end up basically taking care of the poison slots that are there and make them matching, which just makes everything a lot better. So you'll see there, now we have matching slots, and now I'm just going to use a Luffy special to go ahead and make it so that we can go ahead and break through the barriers. Now, there are perfect barriers you have to break. Not a big deal, like I said at all. I could bring Whitebeard on here if I didn't feel like having to hit my perfects, but like I said, I don't really care. I can just kind of breeze through this content, and that way I can use Odin just as a higher point booster there. So that's where you take the HP cut, which will trigger the other Luffy special on here. So a nice debuff from Zoro there to help us out a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and use our super type, just so we get a little bit more damage against the Zoro. And then when he revives again to the 50% HP, we'll just go ahead and use our other Luffy special to just go ahead and easily kill him there. So this is why Nami is so important. She'll rewind all the specials there. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the Odin special there, just so I can just increase my damage. And sorry, I will have to use the Yamato special just to take care of that rainbow shield as well. And then just a nice easy hit, nice easy kill. Nothing too complicated there. And then on revive, like I said, I will use my Luffy special to take care of the paralysis and the special bind. And then I can use the Law and Robin special here just to take care of it as well. So multiple ways to get around it, but this is kind of one of the ideal teams that you can use to just kind of breeze through this content. And you can see he doesn't even stand a chance when we do our damage. So there you have it. That is our TM runs, just to give you an idea of how our teams are going. Like I said, we'll just have to modify that carrot team just a little bit, just to make sure we can get rid of that despair and paralysis that happened. But other than that, you can see it was super easy. And just by doing, that whole run, we're basically north of 500,000 points, or sorry, 775,000 points, just doing that first run. So almost 1 million points just on one run. That's why the boosters are so critical to have and why they're so great. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Like I said, I will be doing a live stream a little bit later today, so make sure to tune into that if you want to see and just chat. Otherwise, until next time, be kind to each other.